Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today. I'm John. That's my core and commentary Ashton. This is the week in review. I've still got some throat issues. I'm still kind of on the rebound, but I'm good enough for us to do this. And plus, I want to knock this out. Don't want too much of a backlog now on the road to Backlash. So let us talk about what I wanted to talk about if we would have done this on time. And that's easily one of my favorite angles in WWE going right now. And that is Seth Rollins' new group, little mini group. It's just him, Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman. So 2 weeks ago now at this point, we have they main event Raw because we're going to hear from Seth Rollins because Paul Heyman turned on both CM Punk and Roman Reigns. They start to talk a little bit, and Rollins pretty much says that he future of the industry goes through him. Seth freaking Rollins. Punk comes out, stomps a mud hole in Seth, and then he turns his eyes on Heyman. Heyman tries to explain himself. You made me turn on my tribal chief. Punk grabs Heyman. Heyman's like, "What are you, out of your mind?" And then Rollins from behind gouges face, really deeply rakes the eyes of Punk. Punk audibly screaming, and then Rollins throws him down, gets a curb stomp, lays him out, and then Heyman says that there is a new how did it go? There is a new undisputed. There was stuff before that. It was kind of like the old Brock Lesnar intro merged with the Roman Reigns stuff. Number one, because then they did the finger raise thing. Top star in this industry, Seth freaking Rollins. Then Roman Reigns music hits. He comes out. He spears Seth. Superman punches Heyman. Goes to spear Heyman. That's when Braun Breaker intercepts. And it gets a big pop from the crowd because at first Seth acts like he doesn't know what he's going to do. Then Braun spears Punk. Then Rollins kind of hugs Braun from behind. And he's like, "That's my boy. That's my boy." And then, he goes around and he spears Roman through the barricade, which I thought was a great spot. And then he, sets barking orders and he says, "Get him back in here, get him back in here." So Braun gets Roman back in the ring, and Seth is telling Roman, "I want you to watch. I want you to watch what's going to happen to you." And then he curb stomps Punk, and then he curb stomps Roman again, and they just stand tall together. And so I guess before we get into what happened this week, which I felt like was also significant, let's just take a breath, let my voice take a breath. Um, how did you feel about the initial forming of this faction, man? And what are your hopes for it? I mean, I know we're going to talk about this week very shortly, but just to get your immediate thoughts.
Yeah, when Breaker and immediately like when Breaker first showed up to spear Roman, I was stunned. I was very surprised. But at the same time, I also was like the first person to be like, "Oh my god, this makes perfect sense." Heyman has been praising Braun Breaker as the future of the industry for years now. We've seen Heyman in interviews talk about how much he loves Braun Breaker for quite a while now. So this makes all the sense in the world. I just love that they're actually going through with having this connection become canon on the product. I love that.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. I've rewatched this segment multiple times. This is my front runner for unsanctioned segment of the year, like the whole
Yes.
brawl and everything that kind
I
of
even
broke down.
remember you asking me after, I don't remember if it was that night or if it was the next day or whatever, but I remember you asking me if this would actually qualify for that, and us agreeing that it would. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love this. I have such high hopes for this faction.
Yeah.
Um, and then we go to this week. So this week, I love how they're all dressed differently. Braun Breaker fucking eating the suit that he's wearing. It just looks absolutely amazing. Excuse me. And Seth is just talking about how, the future of this industry goes through him. A line that I think he's going to say a lot, and I've already told you that I think the end game is a Braun Seth matchup at a big pay per view, or excuse me, PLE. You know what I fucking mean.
Dude, you're
Um,
right, but I almost have to wonder if we might not get that for another 2 years. That might be a WrestleMania 43 main event type match.
Maybe, maybe, because here's the thing: I don't think there's any need to rush Braun Breaker.
Exactly,
Um,
because he's very young, and this faction. First of all, I know there were reports that this is it, that we're not adding any more members to this faction, but I think that this faction has room to grow, and it doesn't have to be right now. The faction could be, set for now, but maybe we add another member next year. Maybe we add another member towards the end of this year. I don't think it's done growing. I just think it's done growing for now. And I think that maybe somebody who's maybe currently in NXT or Evolve would be a nice addition here because you've got Seth as the established main event guy, Braun as the established mid card guy who is just brinking on that main event role. And it would be nice to have someone, or maybe even like a tag team, get added here. And no, I'm not talking about swipe right or anything like that, but like a tag team being added to kind of round the faction out and really make it feel like evolution type faction would be really fucking cool. Um, but I think that this is the type of group that has room to breathe, man. I think that you could do a lot with this, and maybe it's just because Heyman's involved, and the bloodline had so much story to tell. I think that this has probably got similar vibes, but we'll see.
Bro, you talk about people from Evolve. I'll put a name out there that might surprise some people if they keep up with the Evolve product. I think Jackson Drake would be great for this. I think he
Ooh,
fits the aesthetic of the group to me. Um, and
do you know how old he is, by the way?
no, I do not.
About 21.
Dude, perfect. Perfect. You get him that fucking young. I mean, holy fucking shit.
Because
Um,
I was gonna say Sean Legacy.
See, here's my thing, bro. I was thinking Sean Legacy too, but it's so funny you were thinking of him because I thought like you would be resistant to the idea because how tall even is Sean Legacy? He looks like he's a bit on the smaller side.
Well,
He looks almost like a Vegeta
even
type.
if he wasn't on the smaller side, which you're right, he's barely taller than Breaker, and definitely doesn't have the fucking physique to back that up. But even if he wasn't on the smaller side, he's older than Breaker, so that makes even less sense.
I see.
So I
Okay.
think that's why I think your pick of Jackson Drake is like ideal.
Yeah, I mean, I like Jackson Drake. I like how he works in the ring because I think one of the 2 weeks worth of Evolve that we're also gonna talk a little bit about. Because I always try best to manage when we're kind of stuffed on these recap shows. He did have a match with Sean Legacy, and he did great psychology working over Sean Legacy's eye and whatnot. Now Sean Legacy still won that match, but I thought Jackson Drake's heel work was fantastic,
Yeah.
and I think he'd be a fine piece in whatever is a fine speech, but no, a fine piece in whatever they're doing here.
Well, and I mean,
But
if anyone's gonna like if Seth's going to take anyone under his wing that's not someone that he directly trained, which we know that he trained Nathan Frazier, please God keep him away from this. I mean, shit, Jackson Drake could pass as like a younger brother of Seth Rollins.
yeah, absolutely,
Just strictly looking from appearance perspective, like he looks like he could be like a younger member of Seth's family, low key.
definitely, definitely. No, I am all in on this faction. I am all fucking in. And then Sami Zayn comes out this week,
Yeah, he's such a fool, man. He pisses me off sometimes, but I love him anyway.
dude. Yes, uh, I feel pretty much exactly the same way. Sammy comes out, beard on fucking point. I mean, we can't say that Sammy doesn't have the aesthetic down because he certainly fucking does.
Yeah.
And, it's been nice because we know the past couple of months, him and Seth have been interacting, especially on the mic and stuff. So again, they call back to their friendship and their history. And Sammy says, I got to be honest, Seth, this is kind of hypocritical to me. And Seth just kind of looks at him like, bro, what? Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, you were doing all this crying and like and moaning about Roman Reigns and CM Punk, but I get it now. I see it now. You were jealous. You were jealous. You wanted to be Roman Reigns. You wanted to have your own bloodline. And Seth is like, Sammy, this isn't the bloodline, bro. And he's like, this isn't the bloodline. You literally have the wise man. So Sammy coming out and wanting to play hero because that works out for every babyface standing up to a new heel faction ever. That always, Sammy definitely on the right side of history of that one. Um, and Seth, in my opinion, now granted, some would say that maybe I'm a little too into when evil things happen. I don't know what they're talking about, but I thought Seth was very reasonable here, and he said to Sammy, "Look, Sammy, you can either join us, but if you're not with us, then that just means you're against us. You're on the opposite side. You're the enemy, right? So we're going to give you till the end of the night to decide." Now, there's a segment in between this where Otis is talking with Sammy, um, and then Paul Heyman comes in, and he's kind of talking with Sammy, and he says, "Listen, Seth really cares about you so much. Wow, Super Blue already in with the slander. That's great. That's great." Um, Paul Heyman says, "Sammy, look, Seth really cares about you. To prove it, if you take his offer and you jump ship, the winner of John Cena versus Randy Orton at Backlash, we'll be getting to those segments later. Trust me. Um, you're the number one contender. You'll get a WWE Championship match, and that's a sweet fucking deal, right? You take that deal, except when you're Sami Zayn, because when you're Sami Zayn, it's a source
to get
of
on your moral high horse. It's necessary.
exactly. Bro, see, you get it. I fucking love, because I know your face normally keeps me in line, but I love when your face just enables me and just goes with it because Sammy uses this as a source of righteous indignation. I will earn my first world championship. I'll do it the right way. Sammy, it took you forever to do that in NXT. Maybe we don't want to wait around much longer, given that when you try to do things the right way, you got a WrestleMania match with Johnny fucking Knoxville. Okay. So maybe do things a different way and suck less. I don't know.
Wow.
So yeah, he kind of tells Seth
Wow.
to, suck a railroad spike. I'm not doing it.
Wow.
And then what?
The
What?
railroad spike comment seems a little violent, no?
I mean, more or less, Sammy tells Seth to shove it, right? Like, I'm not gonna do it. Um, you know, and if you really loved me, you wouldn't manipulate me, like whatever. And then yeah, Braun Breaker's music hits, and then yeah, Braun just massacres him, which is what Sammy deserves because maybe
In
he
a
should have taken the
sanctioned
fucking
match,
off.
though, like
Exactly.
that was so weird.
Multiple fucking spears. Oh, my ribs. Oh, I can't. I'm literally recovering from illness, Samuel, and this is my second recording today. Get on my level. What are you doing? You know what would have protected your fucking ribs? Common fucking sense. You know what? I'm done. I'm done. What did you think about this segment this week?
Uh, yeah, I mean it was pretty cool. I think it's kind of funny that Braun was just sitting in the back waiting for Sammy to make the wrong decision to come out. That kind of pops me a little bit, honestly. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have much to say, honestly.
Your existence pops me. Let's just get that fucking clear. Um,
Yeah.
so So with that established, no Roman or Punk this week because they actually sold the attack. So thanks for not being a couple of fucking marks. Um,
Cody.
I hate him so much. But he's still not back yet either because he's waiting for the right time to save pro wrestling. Fucking piece of shit. So I'm gonna give you a turn now to talk about whatever you'd want to talk about from
Well,
these 2 weeks to kind of connect together. So what would you like to talk about?
by opening with something that was big news 2 weeks ago, we did end up kind of burying the lead here, which is the releases.
Yes, let's open those wounds back up. Cool. So yeah, you want to go through the list?
Sure. So let's start with. God, I'll leave this one up to you. Do you want to start with the devastating ones or the ones we're happy about?
Let's start with the ones we're happy about and then save the wounds for
That's
last.
what I was going to do, actually. So the one that I'm most excited about is Gallus. Fuck those guys. I'm glad they're gone. They should have been gone a long fucking time ago.
So fucking lootly.
I'm actually disappointed, honestly, that they're going to be on Evolve this coming week because, like, residual Gallus is maybe the worst kind of Gallus.
Residual gallus is like smegma on the phallus. It's just you got to keep that shit clean.
Holy shit. Wow.
Am I a legend or aren't I?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, you are. Get over it. Okay, whatever.
yes. Yes. Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, we're stoked that Gallus is gone. Fuck those guys. They should have been gone a long time ago. Really, I think they're the only ones that I'm actively happy are gone, and that I genuinely think are just pieces of shit that didn't deserve to be there in the first place. Um, I think in terms of people that like I'm glad that they're no longer around to be overutilized. Eddie Thorpe is at the top of the list. Like I don't have any problem with the performer. I hope that he does well in his post NXT career, but the way that Shawn Michaels was using him was legitimately offensive and gross and like what the fuck are you doing? And I'm glad that he doesn't have the option to use him that way anymore.
Yes.
Um Past that, I guess Braun Strowman being gone is kind of a mixed bag. It's good because he's a piece of shit. Um, but it kind of sucks because he was useful in the sense that like he was good for putting monsters over and like establishing new monsters, like the way that they used him to establish Bronson Reed last year, and they used him to establish Jacob Fatu this year. That's cool, but like, I'm sure there are other ways to do that. They don't need Braun Strowman to do that.
I mean,
Um,
I'm kind of in the same wavelength as you. Like, fuck Braun Strowman.
yeah.
My friend
Maybe now
Ricardo,
he'll
who
try and control his narrative again.
yeah, my friend Ricardo, who was a former indie wrestler, like he even had a post today where he was like, "Fuck Braun Strowman." Like, I'm always gonna be happy when that dude loses a wrestling job because when the pandemic happened and the bunch of releases happened, Braun apparently said like, "Oh, you should just change professions or whatever." And it's like, don't be a piece of shit. But of course, Braun couldn't help himself. So yeah, but
Yeah,
at the same
Braun was
time,
very like bootstrappy when the pandemic happened. He was like, "Oh, you lost your job? Maybe just fucking try harder next time."
exactly. So yeah, it is surprising though because he is a big man and he works decently. Like I like the stuff he did with Jacob Fatu, but honestly, with Oba coming in, Keanu Carver, Harlem Lewis, like
Yeah,
there are people that can do what Braun does and be those legitimizers down the line. Where like I'm not really gonna cry over it. So
yeah.
please continue.
Uh, I mean, let me pull up the list now because those are the names that I remembered off the top of my head. Oh, Riley Osborne is gone. um Javier Bernal, like those are two guys that I think you and I are more like apathetic towards. Like we don't have a problem with them. We're not really excited about things. Like we're not shedding tears for them being gone, but we feel bad for them. We hope that they find success after their careers are over now. Caden and Katana are gone as well.
Yeah, that surprised me a little bit, but I'm wondering what they're gonna do now. I still like Caden Carter.
Yeah,
I
I
would
do
like
feel bad for Caden. Katana, diminutive dumbass. She's gone. I mean, ever since the pandemic, man. Ever since the pandemic, we've disliked her.
Yeah. I think just to speak on Caden a little bit, because with more people, I'll have a little bit more to say. And especially when we get to the devastating ones, there's one in particular that I really want to go to bat for that people may not be expecting. But with Caden, I'd really like her to take this time to maybe do the indies, maybe even do TNA a little bit if she wants to
Yeah,
for like the next big company. Really reinvent herself, find a character, experiment. I see something there, man. I just think she was in that tag team too long. And I think this could really be a fresh start for her. So this is a case where a release might actually be a good thing.
yeah.
So we'll see.
Um. Let's see. Oro Mensa is an unfortunate one.
Yes, I think he was really starting to cook and evolve, man. That is a shame.
Yeah, we literally just recently I posted something about Oro and liking him. Like, yeah, literally April 16th, I said I'm slowly finding myself becoming more and more of an Oro Mensa fan thanks to Evolve. So yeah, they were he was being used well on Evolve, and it's unfortunate that they didn't keep him around long enough to really find his footing in the overall company, and that it was just kind of like a do what you can in Evolve and then buy. That sucks.
Yeah,
Um, Cora Jade, I think, is another really unfortunate one because
she'll be
she.
back. I think she'll be back, and she's so fucking young, dude. I think
I
she
don't
needs time
know
to
for
really.
sure. I mean, she is very young. She is 24. You're right. We'll see though. We'll see. It depends on like what she does after getting released here because there are. I mean, you never know. You never know.
Honestly, no, look, I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to like speak on anything like that, like in that way. But if I'm her, I take time off to get really healthy, not just in ring healthy, but like healthy, healthy. I give my body a lot of time to rest, catch up on sleep. And I don't know, again, there's a lot of work out there these days. Maybe she does a stint in AEW. I just feel like this isn't her last time in the E. I just get the vibe that she will be back, even if it takes 5 years, and she would come back right at the tail end of her 20s, maybe even the start of her 30s. I think we will see Cora again. I don't think it's that big of a loss right now, but make yourself into an asset later, by going and building your name like Drew did. So we'll see what she does.
Yeah, I've heard there are a lot of hints that she's going to go the OnlyFans route as well.
Interesting, interesting. I mean, yeah,
So,
that's
I
definitely
mean, if
viable
she
for her.
if she ends up going the Mandy Rose route, where she just finds an insane amount of success on OnlyFans, we might not see her back at all. That's why I said you never know.
That is
Um,
very true.
but then we kind of get to the big three, the three that are like the fucking gutting, bad, brutal. What the fuck are you thinking? And really, only one of these I'm like, you know what? Good for her. I hope that she is able to kick ass and like go on the run of a lifetime here. And that's Shayna Baszler. Um,
Please.
I'm very optimistic about Shayna right now. I'm like, you know what, Shayna? The company was holding you back. If anything, you're gonna go kill it somewhere. I don't know where it's gonna be. Maybe you'll go to AEW because of Marina being there. Maybe you'll go to TNA and win their fucking knockouts title. I could see that happening because currently it's Masha's, and Masha versus Shayna would slap. She's gonna attend. If she's gonna participate in every fucking blood sport she can, I would imagine. If she wasn't already, she might have already been doing that. I wouldn't be surprised if she went back to Japan. She has connections with Rossi. I don't know, man. I don't know. Whatever she does, though, I'm gonna keep keeping an eye on her because she's been fantastic and she seems determined as hell to make whatever the thing that she does next a
Marty
great.
Gold would love to have you, Shayna.
Yeah, dude. Especially like I was
Yeah.
just telling my mom, we don't have Bozilla anymore. We could use that top heel Gaijin.
I mean, she gave Utami the shocking Baszler move.
Yeah.
She has connections
So
with
there's
people
that
in Marty
story
Gold.
right there. If she wanted to come to Monty Gold, even if it was just for a one-off to challenge Utami and put her over.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah,
then the
I
two big ones that are like, what the fuck? Wait, are you not done with Shayna?
no, I don't even know what I was gonna say. I feel like I had more to say, but no, please continue with what you were saying.
Yeah, the two big ones, Dakota Kai and Gigi Dolan, man. What the fuck?
All right, okay, you know what? I want you to go first on Gigi because I know you've been a fan of hers for a while. I feel like even before I really got on board, you were on
Yeah,
board.
I think it makes the most sense to go Gigi first because Dakota, I think, is the most devastating cut.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
because like with Gigi, she's still young. She is only 27 years old. She's barely older than Cora Jade.
Yeah.
She is a fantastic wrestler. She can talk. She has a great look. They had her in this tag team with Tatum Paxley, but they literally just had Paxley lose to fucking Lola Vice to qualify for the women's North American ladder match, which you and I were both devastated by. Um, I, that we should have seen the writing on the wall at that point, but I guess that I just saw it as like a sad thing for Tatum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, they also literally just fucking won that tag match though, and got the opportunity to challenge for the women's tag titles. So like I don't know, it's just really weird. Um, Another, you know what? We didn't even mention this. Shotzi was apparently released too, just today.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another weird like I
So Chemical X just got destroyed.
yeah,
And
Tatum is the only one left. And like here's the thing too. Shotzi posted a video w- cutting a promo from I don't know if it was her garage, but cutting her promo from a garage that was very passionate and very heartfelt. And I thought that it was more of just like a pep talk, like, hey, I I want to get back in this kind of thing. I didn't realize that it was like with the advanced knowledge that she was released. So that brings a whole new context to that promo that she cut from I think it was Thursday that she cut it at 2 a.m. or 2 or 3 a.m. Yeah, it was 3 a.m.
Mister makes a great point too. Javier Bernal is Tatum's husband. This has been rough for fucking Tatum.
Holy shit! Yeah, what an awful couple of days for Tatum Paxley. That's awful.
So before we get back to Gigi, because I feel like there's a lot to talk about with Gigi, I do just want to ask about Tatum. Do you think they make a kind of implicit acknowledgement of this and maybe have Tatum's character plunge further in the darkness because, oh, I thought I had friends and now I'm back to being alone again? Because you just can't like
I
have
mean, at
Tatum
this
go by
point, the
herself, right?
only positive thing you could possibly do with her character is call her up and have her help Lyra.
Like that, yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
otherwise, yeah, they almost have to. You can't just have her lose. I mean, even if we don't acknowledge Javier on screen, you can't just have her lose both Shotzi and Gigi and just do nothing with that.
Let's be real. Lyra's real, legitimate women's tag title run should be with Tatum anyway. Fuck you, Becky. So, yeah. But yeah, back to Gigi. I mean, do we just think she goes back to being Priscilla Kelly on the Indies? Like, what's
Yeah, of
next for her?
course. Yeah, I mean that's another one. She had an OnlyFans even before getting signed by NXT. She's probably going to open that back up, and of course she's going to go back to being Priscilla Kelly, and she's going to do indie stuff. She's probably going to go back to TNA. I'm pretty sure she was in TNA before getting signed by NXT as well. And I don't think she's going to go to Japan. I would be surprised if she did. Maybe she'll go to AEW. I don't know. She's a little more of a wild card from she and Shayna. I think are like the biggest wild cards that I really have no clue what they're going to do.
There is a woman I also want to talk about, but let's talk about Dakota first, since you already kind of like teed that up. Um,
God, I can't believe they
Heartbreaking.
cut her. Yeah, that's crazy. She's fantastic, and even just as recently as within the last couple months, she was putting on fantastic matches on TV, making other women look like $1,000,000. She helped Lyra get over, helped the Intercontinental title get over. She's 36 years old, so not exactly a spring chicken. Um, I just can't like. There were rumors that WWE was waiting until Asuka and Kairi were ready to come back to have Dakota Kai return. That's obviously a load of shit. She could have been doing stuff with Io this whole time. They just didn't have anything for her. They just didn't want to use her. I don't know what the fuck the problem is. Part of me thinks that this is like a Triple H thing because he loves his women thicker and Dakota has more of a slight build, but I don't even know for sure if that's got to do with it. I don't get it, man. What like I feel like Dakota's got to be feeling like Will Smith. How come they don't want me, man? You know what I mean? Like
Well, especially like after all the injuries and still coming back from them and still competing at such a beautiful fucking level.
it just
Um,
feels like Triple H just doesn't see anything in her specifically. Because even going back to NXT, he treated her like shit in NXT constantly. Like
yeah.
this is the same Dakota Kai that in Triple H's NXT got punked out by Shayna Baszler and never got any form of comeuppance or revenge on Shayna whatsoever.
No. No.
And then her character progression was betray your friend and turn heel.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like
Um,
she's always been treated like absolute dog shit by Triple H as a head booker, and now she's being treated as expendable. That's why, like, I was honestly surprised that she was even part of Damage Control in the first place because that was like the first big move that like the big new Triple H regime did, and I guess that was less to do with him and more to do with just Bayley advocating her fucking ass off to bring her on board because we know Bayley and Dakota are very close, and Bayley posted like a collage of some of her favorite moments of herself with Dakota in the past, and it like made Dakota cry and stuff and everything. Like, yeah, it's
yeah.
just really fucking sad, man. I love Dakota Kai, and I would love to see her literally do anything she wants, but it's just sad that she keeps getting shafted at every single turn.
Yeah, she's really good in the ring. I think she's actually a pretty decent promo too. Definitely a sweetheart of a human being. Definitely
Yeah.
somebody you want in your locker room. Um,
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
I'm gonna say it, even though I really like I have one foot out the door with these people these days. I wouldn't mind if she went to Stardom. You know, if we got Shayna from Undergold, I say give Dakota a Stardom run. You know,
I
let's
mean,
kind of spread it out.
they could both go to Marigold for all I care. I wouldn't be upset about that at all.
Yeah, that's
Moneyvone's
true.
whole problem is that it has a weak roster. If you just get more talented women on the roster, then we're good.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, I gotta say too, man. Now that we've talked about Dakota and acknowledged her, I also really feel bad for Jakara Jackson.
Dude, I forgot.
Um,
She wasn't listed on the fucking list that I was looking at in the Wrestling News Channel. Fuck.
this is the one that I said I was gonna kind of go to bat for more than the others because I even told you when we talked about it off air. Because I know we've waited to do this given that I'd been sick. Um, she very much had Chris Masters vibes to me on his second run because a lot of people said Chris Masters in his second run like he got better. He was really putting the work in. He worked hard, and they just cut him despite improving. I feel like Jakara was getting better in that tag team with Lash. I feel like she was showing improvement,
Dude,
and then
yeah.
they cut
Like
her.
we were both making comments very recently about how great she had been recently. Just she's been really showing up and really performing really well on recent matches. I mean, even just recently, the four-way tag match on the pre-show of Stand and Deliver, Jakara was great in that.
Yeah, yeah, I feel really bad for her because a lot of the other women, I'm like, you're more established, you're gonna get work, and I'm sure Jakara will find something too. But I mean, I just felt like she was working so hard, she was improving, and I don't see why you couldn't have kept the team together. Although I will say, just to keep it perfectly honest and 100, if there's any silver lining here, you need to go all in on Lash Legend as a single star. I mean, that woman has
That
got the
is the
look.
other really strange thing about this to me is that every single woman who was released was part of a tag team.
Yeah,
You have Dakota, who, don't get me wrong, Dakota does singles stuff, but she's most known more recently for tagging with Io.
yes, exactly.
Shayna with Zoe Stark. Kaden and Katana are their own tag team. Gigi as Chemical X with Tatum and Shotzi, also part of that team. Um, Cora with Roxanne, and of course, yeah, Jakara and Lash. Like it's just trying to read the tea leaves. I almost have to wonder if they're thinking about either getting rid of the women's tag titles entirely, or at the very least, just ending NXT's involvement in the women's tag division entirely.
And that's pretty sad from where I sit. Any other releases to talk about?
I'm sure our chat will tell us if we've missed anyone.
All right, well, then I still want to give you the floor as far as actual content from this week. Again, we opened with the big Raw angle, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman. So, what would you like to talk about? Any show, doesn't really matter.
Let's talk about Cena and Orton, man. Let's talk about Randy Orton trying to tell John Cena he needs to have a kid.
You know what? Since you initiated it, I want you to start. What did you think about this initial segment? Because this week it was just Orton cutting a promo, and there's really
Yeah,
not much to say there.
yeah, it
So,
popped me.
let's
It
keep this.
popped me a lot though. It was hilarious. Cena's response also popped me, talking about how the reason that he hasn't had a kid in all these years is because he's been too busy raising all of yours.
Yeah, I know that Cena's heel run so far, it's still getting mixed reviews from people. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's starting to hit its stride for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm really starting to enjoy it now, like really enjoy it. I fucking love this. Um
If I sort of put on the blinders and ignore the fact that he's never going to be able to come back from this, um, just exclusively rating it for what it is and just appreciating it for what it is in the moment, he's hilarious and great.
yes. I mean, dude, he is so good at being indignant on the mic.
Yeah.
The whole how dare you to start the diatribe. Like, I'm telling you, this dude is me with a shit ton more money. And like, I love it.
Oh man, we got to make you rich, pal.
Dude, look, not to get on my soapbox here, we're talking about far more important things, but I fucking deserve to be rich, and the world's disgusting, and everything can eat my ass. And
Agree
that's really how I
on
feel about
everything,
that.
all fronts. Yes,
Yeah, there
correct.
you go. There you go. So yeah, I thought he had oh, Danny Palmer apparently got cut. Wow, she just got an Evolve and did like a few matches, and it's like bye. Wow, that's crazy if
Oh
that's the
yeah,
case.
that's right. I actually just saw that earlier today in another Discord server. She did. Yeah, I mean, she's kind of a conundrum in and of herself because she's like a weird like MAGA person who like talks about fucking cloud seeding on social media and shit. But she's also young and a freak athlete who can do shit that no other woman on the roster can do. So like, yeah, I mean, good riddance, but also like missed opportunity.
Jeannie, I'm not even fully joking about this. She needs to reach out to ODB, be like, would you be willing to do something with me? Pitch TNA, be like, look, bring ODB back into the fold. She's going to be my manager. She's going to guide me on living this like trailer park wrestler life and just do a brief stint, her and ODB and in TNA until she can find her legs and fly solo.
I
Like
think
that, I think would be her
ODB
best bet.
might have retired at the end of 2024, but I could be wrong.
You know, you could retire from in ring, but I mean, valet is a whole different ball game. You know, you could be like, look,
Yeah.
can you teach me? Can I be your mentee? Um, just trying to spitball, thinking of stuff for people to do. But what were we? Oh yeah, Cena Orton. Yeah, Cena. The whole thing was hilarious, and Orton. I'm surprised that he tried to appeal to the good nature of Cena because it's like, bro, on Monday you gave him an RKO because that's also kind of how this
Well, yeah,
started. I'm
that
talking
that
about
was
Cena
his
Orton.
idea. It was like a wake up slap, I think, from Orton. He was trying to like snap Cena the fuck out of it, kind of thing.
But Cena would not be snapped out of it. And then Orton is just like, I'm so scared. Like, even he acknowledges in the promo that we're in a bizarro world because he's the babyface and John Cena's the heel.
Yeah.
Even Orton's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Um, and I love Cena's line. He's like, shut your mouth. First of all, way to be authoritative and very reassuring. Um, but then he said, let me explain it to you. I'm at 17. You're at 14. But when I leave here, you are forever frozen at 14. Yes, there will be another show. Yes, they will make a tinfoil title, and if you are lucky enough, you may be one of the people to hold it, and your counter starts at 1 again, you babbling moron. What I am trying to do, Randy Orton, when I leave here, that 3 generations of your family are completely erased. And Orton's like, oh no, starting to crash the fuck out, starting to stim a little bit here. I need a release. And he's like, you say you're the last real champion. Prove it. Defend that title against me right now. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. And Orton's like turning the fuck up. I'm telling you, one of my favorite things about later Orton is this dude does not give a fuck. The way this dude turns up, and you could tell, like, he just wants the release, the akin to a fucking orgasm release of hitting an RKO. Holy shit. Because then Cena does the great little thing, and you could tell Orton wanted to corpse so hard because Cena's thinking about it. He holds the title up, like, yeah, I'm the champion. No. And Orton's just like, oh, fuck. Ah. And then Cena's like, no. And like so many times over the past 25 years, I'm doing it to save your ass. Because there should be a match, but it should happen at Backlash. And then the crowd starts to boo, and then Cena surprisingly is like, actually, this one isn't your fault. It's for Randy. Backlash in St. Louis. And I know that's hard to hear, but for Randy, it's great because Randy is from St. Louis. And then he just tells Randy, get well rested, Randy. Spend the whole day with your family. Be at your best. Because I need Randy Orton at his best. Because when you fail, God, I love what an asshole he is. You will have no excuses. And then yeah, he says, take a good look, Randy. This is what the last real champion looks like. And this is as close as you'll ever get to this championship. Then he tosses the title to Randy. And then while he's wearing the ball cap, he stomps a fucking mud hole in him. And I don't know why. That visual to me is hilarious. Cena in his fucking Power Rangers entrance gear, fucking practically with the vibrant colors, just up in a mud hole in a motherfucker just works. I think I've always wanted to see Cena pop off like that. Call me a fruity pebble, you son of a bitch. Then he grabs the title, and I love that he's smirking. You can tell how many times I watched this segment with me going into detail about it. He's smirking and he's kind of stroking the title, like, yeah, I'm gonna do such amazing heel shit. I'm gonna fucking clock him in the fucking face with this. Get up, you piece of shit. And Orton gets up. Cena swings wildly, and Orton nails an RKO, and he loses his goddamn mind. He even does like a little trouble, like, well, what was that?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you said something.
I just laughed.
Does a little tremble there, grabbing the rope, like, feeling it. And it's like, yeah, holds the title up, and he's like, 15. I'm gonna win 15. No, you're not. No, you're not. That's not
Wouldn't it
happening.
be hilarious if he did though?
No.
And then Cody came back and he's like, Randy, thanks for holding my hardware, but now it's my turn.
My
Cody just
God.
went. Cody just was like, he's not really a heel because he's still himself, and people are supposed to like him, but people just fucking hate him and resent him now because he's going after the guy that everyone loves again.
Exactly.
God, that would be great.
Bro, I'm going to tell you right now, and I normally don't like to do this because I really do respect the sanctity of preview and predictions. I'm going to tell you exactly what should fucking happen in this match. Are you ready for this?
Yes, please tell me. Go.
They should run back, but with Cena doing it this time, which I guarantee would be 10 times more hilarious, they should run back the finish they did at fucking Chamber when Cena cashed in his Royal Rumble win early on the lead up to WrestleMania 24, and have Orton, when Orton looked at the referee when he realized he wasn't going to beat Cena,
Kick him
and
in the
slapped him in
balls.
the face.
Oh, okay. Oh, he slapped the referee in the face. That's right. To get
Yeah,
himself disqualified. Yeah. So you think Cena should do that
yes.
as a
He should look
callback?
at Randy.
Oh,
He should rub his bald spot a little that he got hair extensions for, hair transplants for, and he should just slap that ref right in the fucking face as Orton
so
tries so hard not to corpse.
oh God.
Yeah, 100%. Because they're building it as like the last time ever we'll ever see Orton and Cena in the ring. Imagine Cena just saying "fuck you" to the fans and giving them a finish with a slap to the ref, DQ finish. Perfect, fucking perfection.
Yeah.
Um, so that's my opinion. But you know what, man? I got to tell you, and I'm curious about your thoughts. I'm actually excited for this match. I'm actually down to do Orton Cena one more time. How are you feeling about it?
Dude, I'm excited for it too. It's funny because I was in a call the other day with a few of the guys in the Discord, and there wasn't like a total consensus that everyone was stoked for the match, and I am very excited for this match. I'm like, hell yeah, let's fucking go, baby.
Oh, yeah. All right. So that's that. And I guess now it's back to me. What do I want to talk about? Actually, there is something I would love to talk about. I just don't know if I want to talk about it right now. Oh, my daughter's here. Oh, hi. Oh my God, you're perfect.
Is Wook
I love
Wook
her so much,
there?
y'all. I beg pardon?
Wookie's there?
Yes.
That's
She's
precious.
perfect, y'all. She deserves a better cat dad than me right now. I have not been as attentive as I should be because of said illness. Um, you know what? I'm just gonna talk about what I want to talk about that has me fucking hyped. Aleister Black looks fucking amazing, and kudos to the Miz. They had, in my opinion, one of the most fun matches that I saw this week on SmackDown just last Friday, last night. Um, I really, really enjoyed this. Miz looked great. He made Alistair look like $1 million, sold everything to perfection. And Alistair looks to be in great shape. I love that he still has the different colored eye to give a nod to Seth Rollins, the last time he was here. I mean, my God, if we all cared about continuity as much as Alistair Black does, what a world, huh? What a world. And yeah, I just love this. Alistair wins with Black Mass, and I had several really passionate messages in the Discord about it. One of them being to Sean saying that Alistair is officially part of my fan campaign for the men's Money in the Bank. Women's is already locked up. I mean, that's been
Yeah.
Naomi for a while, but Alistair is definitely a contender. I'd love to see him with that fucking briefcase. Honestly, I would love to see Cena. Um, I would love to see Cena face one kind of out of the box guy. And I think Cena versus Alistair would be a fascinating fucking matchup. So I don't know. I'm carrying water for it, but I love this match. Do you have any thoughts about this match?
Uh, you talking about Alistair versus Miz?
That's correct. Yes.
I don't have any thoughts that I can add that would actually add to the discussion that you haven't already said. No.
Wookiee's laying on the floor by me so that she's making eye contact. And I don't know, she's really precious, and being a cat dad really completes me all.
I
She
want you to
drives me
know,
up a wall
John,
sometimes,
that
but like,
you
yeah.
have everybody's full permission and maybe even blessing to melt live on stream.
Oh my god, she's just so cute. I mean, she makes me pull my hair out sometimes, but I love her. I can't quit her. I protect her from wasps, by the way. I sucked up like 5 wasps 2 days ago. Yeah, it's just normal dad things. But let's get back to the show. Dude, the funny thing is, I really do like keeping this show to talking about things we want to talk about. But I guess we should just mention very quick that Jey Uso's first challenger is going to be Logan Paul. Which, here's the
Yeah.
thing, I guess all things considered, you could do a lot worse, and he might actually be an ideal first challenger for Jay, given that it's probably just going to be a one pay per view thing. Um, so yeah, I mean, I guess that's all right. I kind of worry about Jay's world title reign. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm like, what are we doing here? Um, oh, but you know what? Here's maybe a little something more we can sink our teeth into. The Becky Lyra story. We kind of touched on this a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
talking about the releases and everything. Um, I still feel bad for Bailey, man. I still feel like she's getting the shaft in this story. Do you have any thoughts on this? Because Becky explained herself on
Yeah.
Monday.
I,
Yeah.
I here's the thing. I am actually really into this. I'm very engaged in it. I'm very optimistic, I think, about Becky being back and her feuding with Lyra because I think that Becky really likes Lyra and wants to make her look good. Um, so I have positive feelings about that at least. I really, really hate that they did this to Bailey because Bailey is just the type of person who is like a good soldier and will go along with things like this and not stand up for herself. And that might look good on paper and she might think that she's like earning some kind of brownie points of some kind with the office, but at the end of the day, the front office that she's trying to earn those brownie points have a very, very short memory, and there are no real brownie points. Like, there are no real points to be earned. It's just going to be forgotten, and it's not something that she's ever really going to get any kind of payment or payback or back pay for. It's just she got shafted, and that's the end of the story. Her best case scenario is being the one to beat Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship, which is a mid card championship, and Bailey is a main eventer. So I don't even really know how much of a big deal that is, other than just that it's a title she's never won before, which is why Becky's here going after it in the first place.
Yeah. Dude, I feel so bad for people like Bailey. And I know Danielson had a similar problem in the company because he was talking about that like
Yes.
test that he took where he scored really low on the ambition.
Yep.
You like okay, I don't
We
there's a way I want to say this.
millennials.
Beg pardon?
I said we millennials, and then I was just going to say something about how we millennials are very like go with the flow. We aren't trying to take from everyone else in order to further our own careers. We just want everyone to get along, and we want to, we're very like a rising tide raises all ships mentality.
Yeah, like I don't want to say because I was about to say, but obviously that's patently false. That you can't be a good person and a team player and succeed in pro wrestling. And not, wasn't even going to say that because I believe in it. As like a cultural thing. I think the culture's fucking toxic, but that's precisely the problem. People like Bailey and Danielson exist within a broader toxic culture that's never really going to see them the way that they should be seen. I mean, Danielson only happened because the fans made it undeniable, right? Like, give this guy the
Yeah.
rub. And Bailey has a lot of fanfare too, and I think that's also another reason why she got as pushed as she did was because they knew that the fans ride with her. But yeah, she's definitely getting the shaft for sure. And it sucks. It's funny with Becky because like I don't know, she doesn't really do anything for me anymore. I'm like I feel like you're just kind of taking somebody else's spot. It's not really moving me. I do like Lyra a lot, but I don't know. I just feel like you didn't need Becky for this. I was actually far more interested in Bailey kind of becoming obsessed with the Intercontinental title. But now that Becky's kind of usurped that story, my interest has actually gone down, if anything. So, Yeah, it's just weird. It's really just a dud across 2 weeks. Is there really not much to talk about? Let's see.
It's been pretty weak for
New
sure.
Day. New Day was whatever. EO continues to be the best thing on the product. Um, I liked Rusev's promo. I think it
Yeah,
was
from
this
this
week.
week. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he referred to AEW as the Void, basically.
Yes. Yes.
That popped me. I even talked about how he did that in the Discord in the live wrestling discussion channel. I just thought that was funny as shit, honestly.
We know that
Uh,
Pat McAfee's facing Gunther at Backlash.
I love that angle, actually. I'm really enjoying that because it's like, what do you do with Gunther after he loses his world title and you're not quite ready to ship him over to the other brand to have him win the even bigger world title yet? Well, this is a really cool way to kind of have him, to kind of waste time. It's like filler stuff, but it's compelling filler stuff because he crashed out on commentary, and now you've got, the commentator that we know can actually kind of go in the ring, at least as well as like a Logan Paul, going and trying to stand up for himself and his friend. And I actually really like that. It's compelling to me.
I need to ask you something, bro, because I saw this, but I didn't know if it was like a piece of shit sports Skeeta site, which doesn't even do wrestling journalism. I mean, there is no wrestling journalism as we've established, or if this was legit. Um, I read that Scott Steiner was going to be the corner man for Pat. Is that true? Have you heard
I
anything
haven't
about
heard
this?
anything about that at all.
Then I'm going to assume that it's false. But God, that would pop me so fucking hard if it was true.
That would be
Um,
legendary, but it sounds like a made up story
yeah, that makes sense. I was sus on it too. I was just curious if anybody else had heard anything. Um,
to me.
but yeah, it should be a fun match. So we think that Gunther just wins this and then goes to SmackDown.
I don't know for sure when the draft is this year, um, but I would definitely expect Gunther to win here for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Um,
Pat's going to put up a hell of a fight, though. The match might go like 10, 12 minutes.
I agree. I agree. Fucking punter ass.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
see.
I hope he punts Gunther right in the nads.
Rude. All
No more
right.
generations of Gunther genes.
Wow.
Sorry, Ginny. It's useless now.
Wow. Maybe simmer down. I feel like you're enjoying this a little too much.
I'm having a lot of fun with it, I gotta say.
Wow. He admits it.
Well, yeah. What do you think I'm gonna do? Deny it like a mark?
But you're so right. God, I wish I wasn't so in love with that tone. Why can't I quit, you fuck? Anyway,
Why would you want to quit me?
I don't know. Sometimes you're a lot, but then again, so am I, and that's why we're perfect for each other. We're like Love and Joe. I'm Joe. So, all right. I have
Love,
to ask,
love
how are
a
we feeling about
fairy
Roxanne and
emotion.
Julia being best friends?
It's weird.
I like it though.
I can't make up my mind. I don't know.
Wow. That's it.
Okay, that's it. You're just gonna say wow, and that's just it.
Yeah. Okay. I thought that we could rally around friendship for a change, but all of a sudden the guy that's usually about, no, John, betrayal isn't healthy. No, John, that's really concerning that you would say that. No, John, that's easily the most sociopathic thing you've said about here on friendship. Finally, I'm pro friendship, and you're like, I don't know. What the fuck?
Listen, man, I don't trust Roxanne at all. I would never want to be her friend, and nobody that I like will I ever root for to be her friend because she doesn't have real friends. She's a manipulator.
Okay, that was very brutally honest of you. I'm gonna be honest. I felt very defensive for the first few seconds, and I was about to say that I don't trust your face, but even I recognize that there are things that you would say to somebody that you can't come back from. So I thought better of it. Um, I don't know why doesn't Julia get any distrust? What about that? What about
Well, what
Julia?
what evidence do we have that Julia is not to be trusted as a friend? She was amazing as a friend to Shooty and to Micah and to Tekla and to Himeka. Like we have a literal list of friends that Julia has literally never betrayed, and you can't make a list of friends at all that Roxanne has never betrayed because she's betrayed every single friend she's ever had.
Hey, first of all, relax. Second of all, what about since I consider like WWE fresh territory, literally Stephanie Vaquer. You pal around like you're friends with her, and then all of a sudden you lay her out when Stephanie thinks that you've come to her aid, and you step on her
To be
face.
clear, I'm not saying Julie has never betrayed any friends. I'm just saying there are a lot of friends that she didn't betray. But you can't say that about Roxanne.
All right, I see how it is. I see how it is. Well, you know what? I apparently am going to have to do all the work on this and carry water for this friendship because suddenly somebody that was pro friendship suddenly got cold feet when it mattered. So that's really cool.
I'm
That's
very, very pro friendship. I just don't believe that this friendship's healthy for Julia.
okay. Okay. Um, but no, in all seriousness, I mean they are doing like raw invasions and they're trying to go after certain people, but they're still
Yeah, that's
internally
another
listed.
weird thing. You know what? That's another weird thing about because I said it was weird, and like not only is it weird because it's like they turn Julia heel and then immediately pair her with Roxanne, who shouldn't be heel on the main roster to begin with. But now they're having them like straddle the border between Raw and NXT because like they showed up on the Raw after Mania wearing the fucking Raw debut patches, which is apparently a thing now, which is just literally just capitalism bullshit. Um, and but then literally there were also reports that they're listed internally on the NXT roster. And then like this week even commentary referred to them as NXT superstars. So are
Yes.
they like they aren't officially on Raw yet or are they? I don't know and they're not making it clear enough for me to know and that bothers me and I hate it.
Yeah, I mean I love them both as workers. I love that they're getting this kind of shine, but it would be nice if there is a story here for it to be a bit more coherent. I mean, for example, to give SmackDown its due, I feel like there is a more coherent thing going on there with Nia, Tiffany, Naomi, and Jade. And God, I'm loving Naomi right now. God, I am loving Naomi right now. But like that's very clear, right? Because it's interweaving. Like Nia felt betrayed by Tiffany. Tiffany's obviously the champion, so that's going to attract everybody because Jade's trying to move on from Naomi. Naomi hasn't moved on from Jade, but also Nia feels like Naomi's encroaching on her territory. And again, everybody's converging towards the title. So even though there are multiple moving parts, it all like coheres around a singular point. And I feel like all this stuff happening on Raw just does not have that. But if it did, I'd be far more into it because I don't know what the end game is here for Julia and Roxanne as a tandem. So yeah, I am a little confused as well, man. I'm wondering, what the end game is for all of this.
I agree.
Um,
Yes.
yes. So let's take a look inside this book, Reading Rainbow. Let's see. No, this was last week. I want to look at Raw this week. Look at Raw this week. Just to see if there's anything more from this show to talk about. I saw a good bit of it, but I know that there were parts I missed of it. Yeah, like I said, like the Rusev stuff. Stephanie beat Ivy Nile pretty handily. Already talked about the Pat stuff. So yeah, I think we've already covered like Raw. So I guess we can go over see 2 weeks worth of SmackDown. We already talked about the big thing with John Cena and Randy Orton. Let's see. I already talked about Miz and Aleister Black, which again I really liked. We already kind of touched base on Naomi, Nia, all that. I really don't want to talk about LA Knight in the US title picture. Sorry, Super Blue, but he's a shitter. So whatever. Speaking of people I don't want to talk about, I really don't want to talk about Fraxium either. Hate that they're on the fucking show. We're just never gonna get rid of them ever. And this is just our life now, and I'm not really happy about it. Here's something to talk about. What do we think about Zelina Vega being the new Women's United States champion, bud?
Oh yeah, this was fun. I actually was very surprised by this. In a pleasant way though. I love Chelsea Green obviously, and I want the best for her, but I don't think that the US title was necessarily elevating her in any tangible way. So I don't think that it's like this horrible thing that happened that she lost the title, and I love that Zelina got it. I think it's about time that Zelina won some kind of singles gold here in WWE. It's a long time coming, and frankly, I'm happy for her. That's really cool. I love that for her.
I love it for her too, man. I love that Alistair's back in the company so he could be there to celebrate
Yeah.
with her.
What a
I
week
thought,
for Zelina, right?
Yeah, really. She had a better week than most given everything that happened.
Yeah.
But let me say this, man, and look, I'm only asking you to indulge me because you know it's my favorite pay-per-view of the year. Should we start talking about cha-ching Chelsea for Money in the Bank this year now that she dropped the US title?
Oh, that would be fun. I thought you were all about Naomi for Money in the Bank, though.
I am all about Naomi, but you know that again, I love this pay-per-view. It's my favorite time of the year, and I think we'd be doing a disservice if we didn't talk about the broader field. Um, and I even said to Dom, because I think Dom, credit to him in our Discord, um, he mentioned Chelsea, and I said that Chelsea is one of the few people that could win it, and I wouldn't be sour about it, even though I'm really 1,000% in on Naomi. I feel like Chelsea is an exception to that rule. I feel like her character work is impeccable. I feel like she's still a bit understated in the ring. Um, and so yeah, like I'm just really excited what her losing the title could mean for her, unless Zelina's just a transitional champion to give Chelsea a second reign, and that makes her sympathetic babyface because we know that babyfaces traditionally shouldn't hold on to titles very long, and I don't really see Zelina having a long reign, so we'll have to see what happens.
Do you think?
Um,
Can I ask you? Do you think that they just put the title on Zelina to be like, "Hey, Zelina, thanks for your service. We just want to get this on you so you can have something, and then we're gonna take it off you right away to get back to like business as usual, basically with Chelsea as champ."
that very well could be, man. That very well
Interesting.
could be. Yeah,
I guess my only real like pushback on that would be the timing. Like, why now? And you think maybe that's just to do with Alistair being back?
it could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
Interesting. I really don't like, and this isn't at all a knock on you. I'm not making any accusations towards you at all. This is nothing in your direction, but I don't like a narrative that I am seeing online that Zelina won that title because of Alistair being back in the company and having some kind of pull.
Did you qualify? Because I only meant that I thought it was a really sweet moment that he was backstage,
No.
like being there with
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she worked her ass off for that title. Let's get that fucking straight.
Yeah.
She's been great for months. In fact, probably longer, but I'm just saying with the recent stuff she's done on TV, it's been a story for her chasing a championship. Um, and yeah, I'm personally glad that she got it. See, this is why I can be okay with multiple titles existing and women having mid-card titles because look, the women's world championship scene on both shows, nobody's touching Tiffany on SmackDown, which is the relevant brand for Zelina. And for me, it's like Io, Rhea, like it's rarefied air, right? Is my point.
Yeah.
You're not going to touch that. And I
They've
like
actually
Zelina.
managed to maybe even make the women's world championships feel more prestigious than the men's world championships, at least in their respective divisions.
You know what? I would agree with you there. I would agree with you there. Um, it's
Kind of
just
nuts.
very interesting to me, how this U.S. title is shaking out. I think Chelsea had a decent reign, and yeah, I'm curious the reign that Zelina will have. Intercontinental, I mean, obviously we're still on Lyra's reign, which has been hit or miss for me, but we'll see where it goes. I mean, now
I
she's in
do
this feud
love
with
Lyra
Becky.
as a talent. I just really wish that they would get her some new contenders, which is why I was hoping we would do the draft. But now I'm even seeing some speculation that they might not draft until after SummerSlam, which is like, I feel like we've confronted this issue before with like, wow, so we're going to have the draft. And then the new rosters are going to be around for like how many months? 3 or 4 at most. And then we're going to do fucking brand supremacy Survivor Series where you're going to be like standing up for your brand and fighting for your brand that you've been on for all of like 3 months.
Yeah.
That's lame as fuck. So
Yeah,
to
I
me,
don't
it's
agree with
like
it
do
either.
the draft now, please. Just get it done, and then give the new rosters time to actually get established before Survivor Series rolls around and they're fighting for their fucking brands, you know, supremacy or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, very, very interesting where we are with all that. Again, already talked about the Orton promo, not much to say there. Ray Phoenix continues to be amazing. I saw the highlights from his match with Escobar. Really fun match here. What did you think about this?
Oh my god, yeah, yeah, really fun. Phoenix is fantastic. Escobar, great. I will say though, I think if I had to rank Phoenix's matches, I would still put Humberto Carrillo at number one.
Would agree. I would agree.
That match cooked.
Yes.
But I think
Yes.
Santos has taken the number two spot. Actually, fuck, I just remembered he had the match with El Grande Americano at Mania. That might be number
Yeah.
2, and then we would put Santos at 3.
Yeah. Dude, he has been so good though. Like, I don't think he'll win it, but you want to talk about men's money in the bank? I think he gets a spot in the ladder match. And I think he goes fucking nuts in
Yeah.
that ladder match and makes a shit ton of fucking converts.
Isn't that
Um,
kind of interesting though? Because I feel like a lot of the time when we see a new talent, we're always like, okay, well, I want to see them in a singles match. I want to see them in the context of a singles match to know how much I like them or to know how much growth I want to see them have and stuff. Phoenix, it's the exact opposite. We've seen him in nothing but singles matches so far, it feels like. And it's like, okay, well, let's see him in a fucking gimmick match to see how crazy he goes.
yes.
I don't want to see Phoenix in a ladder match, man. I don't want him to hurt himself again.
No, I don't blame you. But I think it
Speaking
could
of
be
ladder
very
matches where people hurt themselves, by the way, I don't think anyone actually hurt themselves, but that fucking triple ladder match or TLC match or whatever it was on SmackDown a couple weeks ago scared the shit out of me. I actually hated watching it because I was constantly worried about guys injuring themselves. I just don't like ladder matches. It's just one of the worst matches to me. I hate it so much.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But yeah, I think he is still really fucking cooking. I think he's been absolutely incredible. Um, and yeah, I can't wait to see more of him. I really can't. And then yeah, I think we already actually there was one thing I guess from the 1 week of SmackDown, the TLC tag title matchup. I know you were not a fan
That's
of
what
this
I
on the
just
Discord.
brought up, bro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of blanked on that honestly. Um,
Yeah, I
so we talked
literally
about
just
that.
said that I hated watching it because I was constantly worried that guys were going to injure themselves.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, and I guess just my 2 cents on that. I'm just glad Street Profits retained.
That's what
Honestly.
exactly same. That's like I was like watching through my fingers, hoping that it would end sooner so that I could just be like, thank fuck the Street Profits retained. Dude, I was so fucking pissed off at one point because there was a moment where I want to say it was Champa, but I don't remember which member of DIY it was. It might have been Gargano, was hanging by the like title fixture, and Dawkins got up on top of a fucking ladder, and and MCMG were holding the ladder still for him, and he did a
Yes.
fucking jumping spear onto I think it was Champa that was hanging by the fixture. Like, tell me you don't care about winning the match without telling me you don't care about winning the match, because there are two guys right at your feet right now holding this ladder up for you that are going to be fresh and healthy enough to climb that exact ladder that they're holding for you as soon as you crash and burn.
Yeah, exactly.
I hated that so fucking much, dude. I hate the psychology of ladder matches almost as much as I hate the like crash and burn sort of like car crash TV aspect of ladder matches. They're just my least favorite match type ladder matches. I just hate them. Just hate them in general.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I thought this match was I thought this match was fine, but I'm just glad Street Profits retained and that it's over. Um who do you think they're gonna feud with next though is the question. Because I don't really know who they challenge after this or who challenges them. Maybe Pretty Deadly. I don't know.
Well, and again though, this comes back to like, wouldn't it be nice if we just had the draft so that we could get a new refreshed set of challengers in for Street Profits? We could do Street Profits versus War Machine. That would be really nice.
That's a good point because of the draft. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, here's the thing. Who have they already defended against? They just defended against DIY and MCMG in a ladder match, but which one of those teams have they defended against in a straight up tag team match yet? Either one?
I don't think so.
Maybe that's what they do then. Maybe both of those teams will be like, hey, we never actually lost to the Street Profits. They just climbed a ladder faster than us, so we didn't actually lose. We deserve a real title shot, and they're just going to bitch about that. And they'll just get a title shot that way.
Yeah. Either way, I'm just glad the Profits finally have the titles. I think they're my favorite tag team champions right now. So yeah,
I
because
agree.
like
Yeah, well, the alternatives are what? New Day and who's tag champs in NXT?
Hank and Tank.
Oh yeah, no wonder I forgot. Fuck those guys.
Yeah, we know you hate you some Hank and Tank. So yeah, that pretty much covers SmackDown. Um, and I guess now on to NXT. So NXT is interesting because Trick Williams continues to be an asshole.
Oh yeah, he's a full blown heel now. He's embracing his inner mellow for sure.
Definitely, he was bragging about a Hollywood gig that he got, and just saying like, oh, I'm going to be in a movie, and I want my NXT title back. And Oba, let's talk about it. Like, he really wants that one-on-one match. So as far as this week on NXT, which I feel like is just the more relevant week at this point as far as this story goes, because it should also be said that Trick has been getting in stuff with Joe Hendry because Joe Hendry and Oba took Trick out together. Then Trick showed up on Rebellion, laid out Joe Hendry. And then this week, Joe Hendry tried calling him out. He got laid out by Dark State. Dark State continuing to look fucking fantastic. And Trick has a segment later. And he, again, he does that whole thing that I said. And then Ava says there's going to be a 25-man battle royal next week. And if Trick wins the battle royal, whoever wins the battle royal really gets a title shot at Battleground.
Yeah, I will say I am very much looking forward to NXT this week because not only do we have that, but we also, I believe, have a number one contenders match for the women's title as well.
I think you're right. You're right. Because Jordan Grace versus Julia. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remembered there being a match. I just forgot who exactly was in it. I knew Jordan was involved, but I forgot that Julia was the other half of that. That match should be a lot of fun.
Yes. No, I'm really excited for that. I'm thinking Julia just wins that, but maybe they surprise us and they have Jordan Grace go over.
I think Jordan's winning that, man. I think that they're not going to go right back to Jordan and Stephanie right away. I think they're going to have Stephanie retain over Jordan, and maybe then they'll tease another Juliet match. But I think that they are going to have Jordan do her thing first.
Yeah, you know what? That
Because
makes
Jordan
sense.
hasn't
Yeah.
1v1 Stephanie yet, has she?
No, she hasn't. So you think that they might like save the Julia Stephanie one-on-one matchup, really make it a huge deal, the rematch anyway, because we know that they had that belt unification match. I like where your head's at. That's agreeable to me. Beyond that, let's see. Did I actually pull these shows up? Okay, let me do that. Noam Dar is back.
Oh my god, I know. I was so happy to see him, and not only is he back, but he's already the Heritage Cup champion again.
Yes.
Oh my god, I was so happy to see him, and then I was even happier when he beat Lexus for that title. Holy shit.
Yes.
And here's the thing, that's a title that I haven't historically cared about, but when Noam Dar has that title, or just recent reference when Charlie Dempsey held it as well, I fucking love watching their matches, so I care about that title when they have it.
Yeah, dude, same. I think Noam's fantastic. It's great to see him with that cup again. Just the whole Lexus King story with it was not working for me. If it's not going to be on Charlie Dempsey, Noam Dar is definitely the way to go.
Yeah.
Happy for him. He looked fantastic coming back from injury.
Yeah, he did.
Dude, those strikes hit different. Yeah. He looked so good here.
Yep.
I guess now they're really going to focus on him as a single star. I mean, Metaphor is practically dead.
It's literally just Noam and Lash at this point.
Yeah, maybe they'll still pal around a bit backstage, but it ain't going to be what it once was. Really sad when that was an underrated faction in NXT.
Yeah, they were all so supportive of each other too. It was really nice.
Yeah, but
I guess we just can't have nice things though.
Yeah, I'm happy for Noam though. Happy that he's back.
Noam is the one nice thing we can have.
Yes. And man, what a nice thing it is. He looked fantastic here. So happy for him. Then Lexus King tried to go after the North American Championship. He lost. Ricky Saints definitely on the up and up. And yeah, I'm just happy about that. Let's let Lexus King go away. I'm actually surprised he didn't get cut, but maybe it's an ego thing for Sean and Hunter. You know, he's an AEW guy. We can't admit that we failed with him like AEW did, but you did, because it's not you, it's him. He's just not good at this.
I mean, even if he was good at this, he's just severely lacking in several natural components that would make one actually marketable.
Exactly. Like, We all can't be blessed with your face to start, but you don't even need it. You just need to be talented. It's like, God, suck less.
Pretty
But
much.
unfortunately, Lexus King can't suck less. And so
He's too
that's
busy sucking more.
exactly. And honestly, as an aside, Lexus King is on the same planet as Sean, that being Sean Carpenter in our Discord, and he's a lovely man, and he doesn't deserve to have to watch and suffer through Lexus King matches damn near every week. So, if not for me, Lexus, improve for Sean. He deserves better than this. Fucking suck ass.
Don't we all?
Anyway, let me see here. On NXT, I'm looking at 422. I mean, Gigi and Tatum had a solid tag title matchup against Liv and Raquel, but again, we know that came to nothing. So there you
Well,
go.
it came to nothing, and now Gigi's not even around anymore. It's
Exactly.
fucked.
Saw that. Talked about Gnome returning. Thea Hale beat Fallon. I'm just waiting for Fatal Influence. I was about to call them Toxic Attraction.
I mean, it
Waiting for
might as
Fatal
well
Influence.
be the spiritual successor to Toxic Attraction. You're not
You're
far
so
off.
right. God, I love you.
Wow. Same.
On on April 22nd, we know Javon teamed with Miles Bourne, which I liked, and then
Yeah, they were fun.
they seem like they're kind of telling a story with like, oh, Charles is pissed at you. Like, why do they have to break up this group, bro? I love this group.
They
Don't break up
don't.
this group. I know, but they're going to. They're going to. It's so obvious. They hate me.
But they don't have to.
They don't, but god damn it, man. God damn it. Fuck. And they're going to
Straight
make
to
it seem
hell.
yeah, really, straight to hell indeed, because they're going to make it seem like it's Miles' fault, and Miles just wanted to branch out, and do the group proud and do his own thing, and it's like, what the fuck?
Charlie Dempsey isn't racist, is he?
No, why?
Well, I mean, why would he have a problem with Miles branching out if it was for any other reason other than just that it's Javon?
Oh God. I mean, Batavion though, like, but then again, that feels like I have black friends, and oh God, no, we're not doing this to Charles, okay? Charles is fine. Charles is fine.
Kind of like how the Bullet Club is fine.
You know what? Stop. Okay, you're hurting me. Stop.
I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt anyone.
But Dark State do win, and this is the team of Dion Lennox and Osiris Griffin. I do like Osiris, man. I know we've been giving Sugars a lot of love, deservedly. We should all have a sweet tooth, but Griffin can get it. Okay,
The
Griffin.
sweetest of teeth.
Oh yes, but Griffin, yeah, he's good, and Dion's just great. Dion is just fantastic. Amazing double A spine buster. We know that Stephanie retained against Roxanne. Here's another connecting thread that I'll talk about across 2 weeks. The family storyline.
Yes.
Because we know last week Tony D met up with Riz in a hotel room.
Yeah.
And was like, oh, we need to keep you safe. Have you seen Luca? No. So where's Luca Crucifino? I also like to touch on Evolve that he wasn't like on Evolve the past 2 weeks, even though he was kind of like the underboss like of Evolve kind of thing. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I also am happy that he isn't just one of the cuts. That would have been really fucking devastating if this whole storyline was them writing him off and now he's just cut. Like, that would have sucked.
That would have sucked, man. Definitely. Oh, man. But what do you think of the Stax' work? That's my question for you.
I mean, the performer's doing a good job. The writing, I don't really understand the point. It seems contrived to me.
I like Stax and I like where his head's at. I just would have liked him to kind of operate his own rival family to go against Tony, and that might still happen, but right now it seems like he wants to take control of the family as is. And he might get it because we know in the hotel scene last week, Riz was talking about how Stax was one of the people that really stood up for her when they were younger, So like she's got that bond with Stax.
Yeah.
So yeah. And Foster even said in chat, I'm very curious on your guys' thoughts on the D'Angelo stuff, considering John practically prayed for the story. To be fair, I mean, you're not wrong, Foster. I'm not going to split hairs with you. But to be fair, I paid specifically for Tony to be Joe Pesci. And that hasn't happened yet. He's still very much alive, and I need him to be less alive and more Nicky Santoro.
I don't know who
Go
that
look
is.
up
I'm
Casino.
sorry.
Beg pardon?
Nicky Santoro is the name of the character that Joe Pesci played in Casino?
Yes.
Okay.
And the death was hilarious. Gruesome, but hilarious.
Was it very like, why is my name on this?
Um, very, very low key, yes, because he didn't see it coming.
Okay.
And he thought he was making a business deal. He was making a grave. So,
Nice.
yeah, I thought so too. I
Sounds
mean,
cute.
yeah, dude, it was precious. I mean, he got hit with a baseball bat so many times he was spitting up blood. It was a real fucking gas.
Oh.
So yeah, I need something like that to happen to Tony so that I can laugh about it. And you can ask this guy. Don't I laugh about morbid things all the time?
Constantly.
Exactly. So let
If
me
you
laugh at
didn't,
your pain.
I'd be concerned.
Exactly. That's how bad it is. As if I didn't do it, it would be so abnormal. Ashton would be like, "What the hell is this?" So be traumatized further, Tony. No pain, so I have something to laugh at. Fuck. Anyway, we'll have to see where that story goes. Let me keep looking at these two NXT things. We're almost done, and then I guess we could talk about Evolve. And then I did watch a bit of AEW this week, so I guess I could talk about it again.
I skimmed through Collision tonight. That's about the extent of my AEW viewership.
I already talked about most of NXT for tonight too, so I think we're practically done. Oh yeah, Carmen and fucking Ashante are done.
Oh my
So
god. They threw that storyline into the fucking trash so quick you might as well just forget it ever happened. There's no point.
yeah, dude, you're so right. Aren't you happy we took this ride though at all?
No.
Wow. Okay.
All the
Tell us how
storyline
you
ever
really.
did was piss me off.
Wow. I mean, do you want to share your feelings harder, maybe?
I feel like I'm sharing them pretty fucking hard.
Wow. Maybe remember that I'm not the enemy here and adjust the tone. But
Did you just pop yourself?
I did. I did.
Nice.
Oh god. Um, Oba needs to spit in the Undertaker's face. I don't give a fuck what this old ass fucking dude, like what props he gives people. You're old and you're a Blue Lives Matter fuck that means nothing, okay? So maybe shut the fuck up. And you had Trump on your podcast, so fuck you. I'm like, yeah, Oba, spin his face for that. This dude's literally trying to like destroy the Civil Rights Act, and Undertaker had him on his podcast because trans athletes scare me or some fucking old ass fucking transphobic bullshit. Fuck.
Yeah.
I hate everything.
I don't. I love you and I love our audience.
Oh my god, you're so fucking precious. I wish I could protect you from everything, but I can't protect you from what's coming.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
I think you live here, bro. You know, okay? Damn it. Also, look, I know Foster's still here, and the way you said no at some point had him cackling. I know Foster's still here. Am I the only one that thinks this new Chase U sucks eggs?
No, you're not the only one. It's clearly a shadow of its former self, a shell even of its former self. I miss Duke Hudson more than anyone, honestly. Um, but he's also gone, and now I'm even sadder.
Let me tell you something, pal. Shells are for hermit crabs that I don't fucking feed, okay? And you're right. This is bad. This is really bad. And I'm just wondering, what the fuck, man? Like, Chase, I don't know. He feels like he's just trying to make it feel right again. But you had a family that you let down repeatedly because you're an impulsive gambler and you have a fucking problem. Are you going to let this family down too? Why is anyone believing in you right now when you haven't even gotten help? Fuck.
I think people just see him down on his luck and are like, "Oh, he's sad. I want to help him."
I don't.
I
Let
don't
him
either.
languish.
What a
Languish University.
fucking word, languish. Oh,
Yeah, let him languish in his own mediocrity and failed dreams. What are you, LA
wow.
Knight of NXT? Of course not. You're actually a superior worker, so get your
Wow.
shit together.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I recovered. Relax.
happy. You seem really aggro tonight, but you were
Uh,
kind of like that earlier today too, so I guess that hasn't changed that
are
much.
you calling me out in front of everyone right now?
I mean, anyone could have been there.
I don't know why that popped me. I feel like we're having an argument that I've taken out to the parking lot, and then I'm like, "Oh, are you just gonna air my business out in front of everybody?" And they're just like, "Dude, look around. I mean, it's kind of out there. I would have preferred this was private, but you were really adamant about having this in the parking lot." Oh God, I love that there's always at least one adult in the relationship. Um, so after that, let's see what else. Fuck. Oh yeah, we had that women's tag match that was fun, but of course Io's team won because she's Io and she's perfect. So that was pretty much NXT. That's it. So I guess let's talk about Evolve real quick.
Um, okay. Callie Armstrong's really good.
She is. She is. She's different. She's built different. Um,
Those are
you know
her
what
two
else is really good
catchphrases.
though?
My face?
Yes.
I actually called it. Holy shit.
The Vanity Project.
They are
They're
really
really
good.
fucking good.
That's very true. Yes.
Listen, I need everybody to understand, okay? And I don't really
No,
say
but you
things
don't
to be
understand.
yes. And I don't say things to be hurtful. I'm not that guy at all. I've never once taken a complex and exploited it for my own personal amusement. The Vanity Project, and particularly Swipe Right, they're better than you. And you need to just be okay with that. You need to stop trying, you need to stop striving, and you need to accept that you've hit a fucking wall, and that wall is swipe right, so you can swipe left on your hopes and dreams because it's not happening.
Why are
Um,
you being so mean to our audience?
I think what it is, not to correct you or anything, you're a grown ass man, but I think it's being honest with our audience. So I feel like you were being a bit harsh to me there, but I love you, so I'm gonna let it
Well,
slide.
now that you're claiming that the mean things that you were saying were you being honest, that's even meaner now. So that's even worse.
No,
I think we need to have a conversation.
no, no, I don't want to. Uh,
I literally just got done saying I love you and I love our audience, but like we can't be having you just go immediately and insult our audience like that.
Great. Now Foster's carrying water for your side of the argument when he's like, I didn't know John hated us so much. Look, if I hated you, I would lie to you. I am being honest by saying that swipe right is literally perfect. I can't even compete. And I'm me. Me. But it's okay. It's okay. Because apparently Evolve is on your side because they put swipe right against Keanu Carver and Harlem Lewis. And I thought that was really mean and really insensitive of Stevie, the prime minister of Evolve. What the fuck? Like, that title doesn't even exist.
I like
Just like,
Stevie. She's really cool.
wow, cool. Okay, just undercut my indignation there too. That's great. Um,
I mean, your indignation might not be valid. We'll see.
wow. I wish I had all of my voice because it would have been a deeper wow, but it has a little bit of scratchiness to it because sickness. Wow. Um,
So
oh, fuck up. Let's talk about everybody's favorite Evolve competitor, Kylie Ray.
oh, now you're being mean to me.
You had it coming. Remember that.
Wow. Abel wants to know why you're so mad, by the way.
You know what, Abel? I don't have an answer for you. You posted math in the free talk chat. Or no, you posted math in the music group. I had to do something about it.
Where he did not post math. He made a reference to people who teach math.
That's close enough.
It doesn't there's literally not even a number in that entire image.
Your face doesn't literally have any numbers in its image,
That's also true. Thank you.
but it had a variable in it. Just like you're a variable in the equation of my
So
life right now with all this talking back that you're doing.
so a letter, it had a letter in it, which is
So,
what
so
words are
a
made of.
letter, you know what it was.
It's a
You
letter.
know what it fucking
It's
was.
a letter.
Oh, yeah, which can be used in equations, which we call a variable.
Yeah. And you're upset about that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for restating the point.
Wow.
All right, listen.
Now your son's never gonna try and make any chat chuckle ever again because of this.
Well, okay, listen. I need to avoid traumatizing my son because I think I've done really well, all things considered, being a good father up until this point. Abel, and you need to understand that your father's a very emotionally stunted man that still hasn't learned how to properly and healthily work through his emotions. It is not your fault. It is mine. I take full responsibility for my behavior. Please keep trying to make the chat chuckle. You are literally one of the most beautiful things in the world. I think you're keeping my will to live going. So it's my fault. It's not yours. You're perfect, and I love you. And don't bring Seth into this, Foster. He's perfect. He freed me. He freed me by showing that I was right about friendship. It's literally finding the right game pieces to maximize fucking power.
That's
God,
just
I love you,
Roxanne
Seth.
Perez. You didn't need Seth. You have Roxanne.
Yeah, they're both doing it right. So, way to go.
Abel said he loves you.
Love you too, Abel. Which is more than I could say for some people right now that are challenging me. But what did you like
So
from
was
Evolve
that
this
meant
week?
to say that I don't love Abel or that you don't love me?
I'm not really feeling you right now with all this challenging you're doing to my face. I feel like you're turning heel on me.
Wow. Did you ask me a question before all
I
that?
did ask you a question. I asked you what you wanted to talk about from Evolve, although I don't really know if there
Oh,
was much because we
yeah,
still don't have
no.
titles right now.
No, we don't have titles yet. Let's talk about Layla Diggs.
She faced this week.
Layla?
She faced
Zeta. She faced
Zeta.
Zeta.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a fun
Yeah.
little match on this week's episode.
They did. They did have a fun match. I enjoyed it.
I like
I
both
enjoyed
of them
watching it with your
a lot.
face.
Yeah, they're both really cool.
Yeah, not as cool as your face though.
But I
All
do
right.
think that Layla, like, I love Zeta, and she's literally only like 20 years old or maybe 21 by now. And she, low key, like, I think she has, like, okay, so let me take you on a little bit of a journey here.
Yes.
Alexa Bliss level marketability, but way better at actual skill based stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I see in Zeta Steel.
Nice.
Nice, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We can move on now if you want. I mean, you know what? I don't want to move on yet because I want to praise Layla Diggs too because I think that she has like face of the fucking division type upside as well. She's exceptional. I love her. She has an amazing look. She has an insane athletic base. I think she's charismatic personally, but I'd like to hear her talk more just to really get some kind of a confirmation or change my mind on that. I see a lot in Layla Diggs. I think she might be my favorite sort of like prospect as far as the women go that isn't already getting pushed hard like Callie Armstrong.
Yeah. Yeah. I can agree with that.
Nice.
Um, I really like the Evolve Women's division. It's really coming together nicely. I
It
can't
is
wait for a
quite
title to get involved.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really know if there's much else to talk about from Evolve this week, though, man. I mean,
Interestingly, I think that my favorite woman in all of the Evolve women's division isn't an Evolve woman, it's an NXT woman, and that's Wendy Chu.
yeah,
Who, speaking of Kylie Ray, who you brought up earlier, unfortunately, um, Wendy Chu was in a match against her on this week's episode of Evolve, and Wendy was fantastic. Kylie, I mean, the match itself wasn't anything incredible by any means, but Kylie annoyed the shit out of me because there were so many instances in this match where, like, okay, so for those of you who don't follow Evolve, and I'm assuming that's most, if not all, of our audience, because anytime we talk about it, nobody responds to any of my messages about it at all. There might
right.
be like one or two, maybe Dom or Sean or someone like that might potentially watch it. I don't know. But even then, no one responded to any of my comments this week. And I know that there are some people who actively avoid it because Gallus has been on it, but now they're not. So maybe we can get like Javaris to watch it with us because there's no Gallus anymore. But anyway, um, so backstory: Kylie Ray is palled up with a woman named Zara Zacher, who I also really like. She's really good. And last week, after Zara Zacher's match, there was like a doll, like a baby doll, with a note on it saying "I accept." from Wendy Chu because earlier on in that show, Kylie Ray laid out and issued a challenge for Wendy Chu for a match next week, which ended up being this week. Now, this week, we have this match, but earlier on in the night, Kylie Ray cut a promo saying that that doll was her fucking infant son's doll. And we're talking like,
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that we found out that it was like a year and a half old son who this doll belonged to. So what this means is that last week, the only way that that doll ends up in the ring with that note is that prior to last week's episode of Evolve, Wendy Chu had to break into one of either Kylie Ray's house, Kylie Ray's car, or Kylie Ray's son's daycare, steal his doll, and bring it to their place of work. That is beyond fucked up. That is something that Kylie Ray should be absolutely fucking livid about. It should be something she literally want Wendy Chu's fucking blood over. And then we start the match and we get a collar and elbow tie up. What the literal fuck are we even doing here?
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is I really like Wendy, and I couldn't care less about Kylie Ray.
Yeah.
Um,
Wendy is fantastic. Wendy, I mean, Wendy, it's like she's just playing mind games. She's just having fun with it. She's just like, haha, I stole your son's doll. What are you going to do about it? And Kylie's response is literally, nothing. I'm going to try and beat you in a wrestling match, is her response to it.
Graps, yeah. I really want Wendy to be the inaugural Evolve Women's Champion, but I'm thinking it's either going to be Kendall Gray, hopefully, or Callie
Oh my
Armstrong.
God, I forgot about Kendall Gray. We haven't seen her in too long.
Exactly. That's exactly the correct response. Um,
Aside from the forgetting about her part, that's the incorrect response.
it's so true. God, you're on top of it right now. Um, so I guess that's really it for what I have to say about Evolve. I really don't have thoughts like beyond that. Um, if you have any more thoughts about Evolve across these 2 weeks, I guess we can go into maybe a little bit of AEW talk before we get into the rest of our segments for the show.
I literally have, well, I shouldn't say literally, but I have very little to say about AEW. So if you feel like you want to talk about AEW, then open that can wide open.
Is it bad that even though I watch stuff and I could talk about stuff, I just really don't want to? Like I feel like I said
Dude,
just
yeah,
when I said you off
same.
the
The
air.
only thing that I
Yeah.
would want to say about AEW is that they are already fumbling Megan Bayne. They had Megan Bayne get pushed to the moon to the point that she got to challenge Tony Storm, but then they had her lose to some kind of a roll up to Tony Storm in her title match, and she's like struggling at this point to beat Harley fucking Cameron.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gross.
Yeah. I'll just say, guys, that I watched like a bunch of stuff, and honestly, you know what? Just to give you a little something and a little something that's positive, um, I'm grateful they have Adam Page, and Samoa Joe is still a great mic worker. So those are the two things I'm going to say, and that's essentially it. So, did you do any extracurricular like watching this week?
No.
Yeah, same. All right, let's open up the forum for questions. All right, guys. Past 2 weeks in the world of wrestling. So give us your questions if you got them.
Cue those A's, baby.
That was hot how you said that. Just want you to know that.
That has that in common with your face.
We're gonna have fun later. We're definitely gonna have fun later. Foster, thoughts on Naito and Bushi leaving? You know what? Lij is a beautiful fucking faction. I'm happy for Naito that he still has like a quality of life just as a person to enjoy. Maybe his body can get some goddamn rest now. I do think he deserved better in his New Japan run. I don't think New Japan ever got him exactly right for me. You know, I'm just one guy. My opinion means nothing really in the grand scheme of things. But just for me, I feel like they never really got him right. They never really capitalized on him the way that they should have. The guy could have been the top fucking heel at one point when he first came back from Excursion. He was wrestling amazing fucking matches, had heel psychology out the ass. Bushi, I really don't have an opinion on, Foster, just to give you my honest opinion. But Naito was a fucking gem, really stood by that company, and he could have great matches with everybody, with people as diverse as ZSJ and fucking Jeff Cobb.
Yeah, I think
And I don't
Bushi
really
is
think he got,
cool. I like Bushi. He's all right.
yeah. And I just feel like he never really got his flowers, in my opinion. I'd actually love to hear from Ashton as far as Naito's career in New Japan goes, because I know what a huge Naito fan you were once upon a time. So looking at his career, like, how do you feel about it?
Naito, for me, like my fandom of Naito was very much like um, a raging fire that burned out slowly. Uh, I was, not really into him when we first watched because I think the first match we saw him in was, I want to say, against AJ Styles, maybe?
Yeah.
Wrestle Kingdom 9, I think it was. Let me look that up. Wrestle Kingdom 9. I typed the wrong number. Let me try that again. Wrestle Kingdom 9. There we go. Um, let's see here. Naito. Yeah, I was actually, holy shit, wow, my memory impressed me. Yeah, that was our first match we saw him in, and he was still doing like Stardust Genius shit then, and I wasn't feeling it at all. Didn't think much of him at all. I was actually underwhelmed by that AJ Styles match, which, if you know me, you know that that's a pretty big like bad thing. I don't know how to phrase it. It's like a bad sign. It's like a negative sign because I love
Yeah.
AJ Styles matches mostly. Um, a condemnation. That's the word. It's a pretty big condemnation on Naito at the time, but then he had his excursion to CMLL soon after that and came back as El Ingobernable and absolutely fell in love with him during that G1. He was just incredible to me. I loved seeing that version of him and the way that he was like trolling his opponents by like taking forever to take his entrance gear off and like the bell would ring and he would roll out and just like telling the guy like take it easy, slow down, and like I just loved all of that. I loved his psychology, and I also like at that time I loved his rivalry with Shibata because Shibata fucking hated Naito because he felt like Naito was disrespectful, and Shibata was very much about like honor and respect and stuff, and Naito didn't give a fuck about that stuff at that point. Loved their rivalry. Those were my two favorite guys in New Japan for a while, and then Shibata fucking killed himself against Okada in one of the greatest matches of all time. And for Naito, I loved him for a lot longer because he was staying pretty much the same, and I was there to celebrate when he won the title. Or really, what I should say is I was there to mourn when he lost his title shot against Okada the first time at Wrestle Kingdom. But then I was also there to celebrate when he won the titles. I believe that was in 2020 actually, and that got derailed by the pandemic. And I just feel like he was never the same after that. I feel like that was like his last hurrah, and he was just never the same after that. I feel like in the last 2 or 3 years or so, he's just beat to shit and washed. He just can't move the same as he used to. He's not as swift as he used to be in the ring, and I want to see him get healthy. I want to see him get, um, back to being the El Gobernable that I fell in love with back in 2015 and 2016. But if he can't, then at the very least, I just want to see him live a happy and healthy life. And I'm assuming he's not going to just be done wrestling here. He's probably going to go to like Noah or DDT or All Japan or something and work other promotions as like a freelancer. I can't imagine WWE would want him at this point, given his age and the state of his body, and the fact that he's not gonna like get as over as like a Nakamura did when he was at his peak when they signed him. AEW might use him, but I don't think that they would sign him because of his age. And yeah, yeah, man, he used to be my absolute favorite in New Japan, and to the point that I even considered buying a Los Ingobernables de Japón baseball hat at one point. I just never could find a like a one size fits all type one that I would wear. But that was like me, like I don't buy very much wrestling merch, and that's the degree of my fandom of Naito at one point.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. All right. Let's continue with the questions. Abel, have you acknowledged your tribal chief today? Jacob Fatu, I acknowledge you. All gas, no brakes. Baby. So,
Oh, Abel asked if we acknowledged our tribal chief. I don't acknowledge part-time tribal chiefs. Sorry, Abel.
wow. Wow. I did it for him. Um, let's see. Cash Shells, do you think there's any chance of Jacob dropping his belt event? No. No. Jacob
Wait.
Fatu is you.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. No, that he better fucking not. That would be the biggest travesty.
Yeah. You don't want to cause a travesty to this immaculate fucking face. He's been through enough. All right. Naito's last match hasn't happened, so that question's invalid. No, Super Blue, we have not watched the highlights you posted in the Discord. I just watch it on YouTube separately, but I'll start remembering that you post highlights because
I
it'll
do
probably just help me
appreciate you
out.
posting those in the Discord, Super Blue. Thank you for that.
Definitely.
Because I've
Yeah,
I've pulled that up to watch and just gotten distracted and not finished a couple times. But I really do appreciate you posting that because if I do get the time, I will absolutely watch those to keep up with the product.
exactly. I'm the same way. I didn't even know you were doing it, Super Blue, and I appreciate it as well. It'll save me some time, so I'll try and be mindful of watching it in the future. Super Blue also asked, "How do you feel about Stokely being the manager of FTR?" I mean, I love Stokely to death, and I've watched a little bit of FTR stuff recently, mainly promos and stuff. Maybe it'll be a good dynamic. Who knows? I'm willing to keep an open mind to it. Do you have any thoughts on this?
Nope.
All right. Um,
Do you think
Cash
Seth
sells
may
again.
build?
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I was reading Caster's question.
Yeah. Do you think Seth may build a team, Temu Shield with Dragunov as the new lunatic fringe, Braun as the powerhouse, with the spear, and Seth reprising his role as the architect? No, no. Honestly, I would say keep Dragunov the fuck away from that faction.
I
Um,
don't see how anyone can see Ilya fucking Dragunov and think, yeah, that guy's the next Dean Ambrose. What?
I mean, I know John Mox is kind of a skinhead right now, and even knowing that, I would say that's kind of an insult to Dean Ambrose, John Moxley. Um,
Man, that's a
Jesus
wild
fucking Christ.
comparison to make, honestly.
Yeah, you guys are wild sometimes, and that's coming from me, who desperately needs help. Um, so any other questions, y'all?
I think it might be time. Oh, wait. Nope. Abel said, do you see R-Truth joining forces with his hero, John Cena? Oh my God, I actually wanted to talk about this.
King.
So, did you see these segments on SmackDown?
I saw the one segment last week. Did they have any segments this week?
This week was the one I wanted to talk about. Yeah, Randy Orton approached R-Truth in the back, and R-Truth was like, Cena's going to beat you at Backlash. You know, it was like, why would you say that, man? And they had their little interaction. And I was like, oh my God, what if we use Cena's heel turn not as a way to just have R-Truth turn into like a generic angry, my hero's a heel, so I have to be a heel now too kind of heel. Let's use it to have R-Truth mentally fucking break, and we use that to get the return of Little Jimmy.
That would be amazing.
I'm saying.
Uh, I mean, the story's good. I'm just gonna say, for me personally, I also wouldn't mind a one-off where John Cena uses R-Truth and the next night beats the shit out of him. To be like, now get the
Yes.
fuck out of my ring.
Yes. You're
Yeah,
speaking my language, pal.
God, it's so nice when I can be my worst self and you're just like, yes, it's home, honestly.
Fuck.
So so yeah. Definitely hope that John Cena uses his newfound R-Truth game piece to succeed and then throws it away because it no longer has a purpose. But we'll see. We'll see. Um, Super Blue. Do you think Solo is trying to screw over Jacob? Solo's going to be screwing over his damn self if he doesn't mind his fucking place. I see how Solo's been talking. I'm the one that brought Jacob in the family. I'm the one. Bitch, it ain't about you. You can take your tape thumb and shove it up your ass so you can calm the fuck down and let the actual winners succeed in the family. Bitch. Fake ass tribal chief ass.
Samoan Spike butt plug.
Yeah. Samoan enema. Bitch. Anyway.
Why
Super
is
Blue.
Jacob jumping LA Knight like a coward? Listen, Super Blue, if you wanted to beat the fuck out of someone, would you go up to them, grab them by the shoulder, and turn them around first, or would you just beat the fuck out of them?
Yeah, and maybe if you didn't have a stick up your ass and you can move faster than 0.000000000000005 per fucking second, or really per hour, fuck, then maybe you'd see it coming and you wouldn't get jumped from behind. Maybe dislodge the stick and stop being a dick, and then maybe you won't get attacked. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, look, Ashton, let me ask you. You're a sensible man with a charming disposition. How many times have you gotten jumped in your life?
Oh, I mean, well, If I really think about it, I can no 0.
Yeah, see, exactly. 0. And I live in an ableist society. People would probably love to jump me because
And
they,
you
yeah,
have a history of being an asshole to people.
I do. I do, and I still have never been jumped. What is LA Knight's excuse? Oh, wait, he is an excuse of the pathetic variety of a wrestler. Fuck himself. Next question. Oh, well, Super Lou already with the next question. Um, should R-Truth be the one to beat Cena for a one? No. What is wrong with you people? Ah, that's the correct response. Because I know you weren't, but it sounded like you were receding into yourself. I
No, I
fucking wish.
definitely did. I definitely did.
God damn it. And then Foster, yes, but you know, Foster, you are so lucky you're handsome because you get away with so much. Pretty privilege is so real, and Foster is living it. God damn it.
Super Blue. Listen, man, we love our truth, and we think he's great. And if the WWE ever decided to put the WWE title on him, we would be stoked. But it needs to be in a way that gives him actual credibility. You can't just be like, our truth is John Cena's #1 fan, and he's pissed off that he's a heel now, so we're gonna have him beat him for the title. That's ridiculous.
How do you feel about finally being able to live react to Crown Jewel now that it's not in the desert? Oh yeah, because
In
it's
the
like Crown Jewel.
desert? God, you make it sound like we just hate watching shows in the desert. It's Saudi Arabia, their corrupt ass government shoving fucking fascist propaganda down our throats, which WWE does regularly now anyway.
Yeah, Super Blue, I know you've been here, so I'm not going to talk to you like you're a child, but everything kind of fucking sucks. Okay? And now you're asking about Crown Jewel Perth. I'm not thinking about Perth, honestly. You know what I am thinking about? I'm thinking about how wrestling needs to keep catering to me to keep my interest. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm tired of playing footsies with this fucking bullshit. Oh, we'll just do a little bit of fascism. How about you do zero fascism and fucking like it? Piece of shit.
I mean, I don't know, John. That's asking an awful lot of the fascists.
I know, bro. We're too good for them. I'm
It's
so
so
tired.
true. Oh my God, you're so right. Why do we do this to ourselves?
Oh, you know what the problem? You know what the problem is? And look, I know we're live and I know they're listening in, but I really don't care. The problem is, we think we're old. This is what's aging us, bro. Carrying water for this fucking bullshit. Like, fuck you people. Like, I'm not talking about our audience. Our audience is sweet, obviously. I mean, hello, Abel's in it. That automatically makes it perfect. And then you
Yeah.
add Foster and everybody else into the mix. Like, okay, how's that extra credit coming? Christ. It's the wrestling, bro. I mean, God, Nane still hasn't retired. Isn't that happening this month? Fuck. Go faster. Jesus. This product is aging me and I don't know what to do. Um, but yeah, will we react to Crown Jewel Perth? You don't know that, Super Blue. The card could completely suck ass, and then Ash and I could be like, "Do you want to react to this?" And then Ash will be like, "I don't hate myself, so no." And then I'll be like, "You know what? Oddly enough, in this one instance, same. So yeah, let's not do that." And then that's what happens.
Why is the
So
not hating yourself odd and only in this one instance for you, John?
I am deeply mentally ill, sir. You know this. Don't act like it's some kind of surprising thing that we need to talk about as a group, because no, the fuck we do not. Uh,
Can we though?
Bull. Do you think it would be cool if no, 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 no. Do you think it would be cool if Big Jim and Naomi won Money in the Bank this year? Naomi, yes. Big Jim needs to snap into a Slim Jim in the unemployment line because he's a fucking loser and his only claim to fame is being a fuck ass twin.
Just to be clear, we're not fat shaming here. We don't have a problem with Big Jim staying Big Jim. He's just saying, it's a joke. It's a Slim Jim joke.
Yeah, have a snack, have a nice little stick of meat, all right? Because you've done nothing for my stick of meat for like fucking decades, but I'll be the adult here, okay? And let your wife do all the work and be the star that she fucking is because she's a fucking goddess. And you are forever a fucking loser. I hate you, Jimmy Uso. Fuck you. Fuck.
What did you do to deserve this treatment? Actually, don't
Me
answer
off.
that. I already know what it is.
Yeah, you already know.
SummerSlam 2023. The son of a
God, your
bitch.
cranium is so sexy when it remembers things.
Oh my
Fuck.
God, you're really worked up right now.
I am. Do something about it.
I won't. It's nice.
Okay, Super Blue again with the ridiculous questions, leaving me Super Blue. Fuck, whose name is it anyway? Why is Santos losing his mind? What are you even saying right now?
It's because Santos is being an asshole to Umberto and Angel, and it's starting to look like Andrade might be befriending Umberto at the very least.
Okay, so Andrade's a homewrecker. That's cool. That's really
No,
cool, Andrade.
Andrade is saving them, okay? From an abusive relationship.
I don't like when we're on opposite sides. Okay,
I don't
I
either, but you always choose the side of the asshole.
okay. I don't. I actually can't remember the last time I didn't choose the side of the asshole. I'll, I'll give you that one. Um, but Super Blue, listen, you're literally a fan of somebody that wakes up, scratches their ass, feels a little something wooden in there, and like a non-cheeky texture, and asks no further questions. Maybe sit down. I don't know. Um,
Just make sure that you get the splinters out before you sit, though.
you know what? God, you give such good advice. You're such a leader. Fuck. What were we even doing? Oh yeah, these fucking questions, which are still going. Super Bowl, you know what? I'm cutting you off after this. I don't normally like cutting people off, but you're drunk. What are you? You know what? No, I'm not even gonna make that joke. That would have been awful. Super Bowl,
I know what you were gonna say, and that would have been terrible. Jesus.
stop myself, okay? God.
Proud of you for having restraint. Jesus Christ.
Super- Are you ready for our truth versus Jimmy comes in? No, no, nobody is ready for that, okay? God.
But is he talking about Jimmy as an Uso, or is he saying R-Truth versus Little Jimmy?
I think he meant Jimmy as an Uso.
I think he
I
meant
do.
Little
I think
Jimmy.
he.
I think he meant Little Jimmy. Like R-Truth wrestling the Invisible Man, but it's Little Jimmy.
I. Who are you meaning, Super Blue? You got to settle this. Um, and being an asshole to Phoenix, who he was trying to recruit. Well, you know what? Maybe Phoenix shouldn't veil face. Maybe he was the asshole. All right.
No, it was definitely Santos. Just rest assured. Hey, well, what if Big Jim and Little Jim formed a tag team? Oh my God, what are we
You
doing
know,
here?
I'm ending this. I'm ending this.
Yeah,
I'm ending
please
this.
do.
It's
It's getting
over. The
really
questions have gone off the
ridiculous.
rails. You
Jesus
guys have forgotten what an
Christ.
actual question is. I'm being the adult. I'm stopping this. It's
Thank
over.
you. I'm proud of you. You're the best.
All right. Yeah. High spots, low shots. Um, my low shot's LA Knight because apparently he got laid the fuck out because bitch doesn't know how to stop a sneak attack. So fuck you, LA Knight. Who's your low shot?
Oh God. Lyra Valkyria, because for the 2 weeks that we're talking about here, she's been laid out by Becky Lynch and lost tag titles.
Cool, cool. I didn't know we were still stabbing me. That's cool. Um,
Oh, I didn't know that was a sore spot. I'm sorry.
no, no, you're beautiful.
I
It's
mean, I
fine,
knew
and
you
it is a
liked
genuinely good
Lyra, but
choice.
I didn't think you liked her any more than you liked, say, for example, like even just like Becky herself. Honestly.
Oh no, I fucks with Lyra Valkyria. She's wonderful, but it is a legitimate choice. She did have a rough week. I can't get up in my fee-fees, then we wouldn't really be a show. It would be just catering to John for an hour and a half, which I mean, there are worse programs, but still, that's not the program we
Mm,
want. Um, High spot.
how high does it go?
Just straight up admits I was out of questions anyway. Wow, I really
Oh
couldn't
yeah,
tell. I really
you
couldn't
say
tell.
you're
Super
out
Bowl.
of questions, but if we would open the door back up, you would come up with 8 more.
Yeah. Um. Let's see. High spot. High spot. That's right. That's right. Let me think.
How
Let me think.
high is the spot?
Oh, it's pretty high, I think. Uh, you know what? My high spot is gonna be no. Fuck you. I hate that answer.
Oh no.
I'm at war with myself. I'm so close to dissociating. Holy
Oh
shit.
no.
I think my high spot's
Can I
going
help
to
you?
no.
Okay. I just had a high spot suggestion that I think you'd like.
You know what? I probably would have liked it. But I need to do this on my own. Um, Oh, you know what? My high spot's Randy Orton. Yeah.
I thought about Randy, but my advice for you was going to be Aleister Black.
Yeah, it would have been a great one, but no, I'm gonna go Randy. I watched this segment multiple times. The one where he RKO Cena, not the talking one this week. So who was your high spot?
Malachi or Aleister Black's fucking wife, Zelina Vega, for winning the U.S. title.
Hell yeah. She's got her man back in the same company, wins the championship. She is riding high. She's still in a babyface faction with Ray fucking Mysterio. I mean, I would consider that an L, but I know she wouldn't. So Zelina is just on top of the fucking world.
I love that you gotta throw your little 2 cents there. I would consider that an L because fuck Rey Mysterio, the deadbeat dad piece of shit. But yeah, she's doing great.
Yes, she is. Oh God, she is. All right, folks, that was the show. I'm so proud of us, and really, if I could just say so, I'm proud of me for doing this. I mean, I gave my voice to you people, and I'm gonna say, worth it, worth it. And I'll be back, and I'll be better than ever. And we're just gonna keep kicking ass because I don't know. That's just what TWitWoW fucking does.
You're so
So
fucking beautiful.
you're fucking beautiful. You know, dude, if you don't simmer your ass right now, I am going to say really aggressive, emotional things to you right now. Not in an abusive way, but actually quite the opposite. And you know what? That doesn't deserve a hot mic, so I'm not going to. So I'm going to take us home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Um, God, I got so into that I lost track of my outro. Oh yeah, leave a like if you file out. Subscribe to the bell notifications. So you don't miss any of that just well goodness. Check out
Huh?
everything we're building in the description box. What was that?
You said something about TWitWoW goodness, but I didn't catch what it was.
So we won't miss any of that 12 goodness. Just kind of telling the
Oh.
guys, click the bell icon for notifications, subscribe, all that stuff. Um, Follow us on Blue Sky and Twitch because we are the best wrestling podcast in the WC. And when will we see these guys again? Thursday,
Um,
maybe for Stardom.
I'm thinking Tuesday for Monty Gold.
Tuesday for Money Gold. Would that be at 6?
Yes.
All right, Tuesday at 6. Hope that goes well for me because my sleep has been fucked, but it went
Actually,
well
no, you
enough
know
today.
what? We like to be done earlier on days that we have NXT, so let's aim for 5 on Tuesday.
Oh, okay. All right, really letting me see if I can beat those odds. All right,
You
Tuesday
did
at
it for
5.
Stand and Deliver, bud. I believe in you.
That makes one of us, and only one of us.
I believe in all of you.
Okay. We will see you guys at 5 on Tuesday. Until then, be good to yourselves and each other. And I swear to God, if you're not, like, compassion should be the easiest form of praxis to do right now. Fucking do it. The fascists are here and they're being mean, and that's understating it. Okay. So let's all be nice to each other. Let's all fucking love each other. Thank you, Super Blue. I'm glad you're here too and you're healthy,
Aggressively.
hopefully. Exactly. And yeah, I will be a stern father. I will fucking do it. I don't give a fuck. And we'll see you guys Tuesday at 5. So until then, tune in and peace out.
Everyone loves a stern daddy.